Hey, what's up guys? Tony here with VentureTube. Got a great episode for you today. It's a little long, but I got a little bit of everything in here. Stuff about the van, a little bit of fishing off the bank, fishing with my buddy Dennis. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you're new to the VentureTube channel, make sure to subscribe, and let's get the show started. Come on.
Kind of wanted to give you guys a tour of the van. If you watch my show, you've seen the outside of it, and most of you guys know that I bought a van, but I've never did a video on the inside of it. So I'm going to give you a little short tour. I have it set up now as if I were at a fishing tournament. Okay, well, starting in the front, you got your two captain's chairs, your driver's seat, your passenger seat, and then I purchased that little ottoman there from Target, which matches perfectly with the chairs that come with the van. So really happy with that. It makes for a good little, area to put food or whatever. And of course it's got the storage on the inside. I love that. I keep a lot of cords in there. I keep blankets and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that I think it cost me around 15 bucks, and that's just an awesome addition to the van. Okay, let me go to the front and I'll give you the view of the rear. Okay, there's the rear of the van. Now there's two more captain's chairs just like the front that go right here and right here, but they're easily removable. So I always take those out on a trip. It just gives me more space, and if I have a friend want to come in here or whatever, sit down, it's nice to have the additional space. Plus those chairs are pretty heavy. It's nice to get rid of the weight for the drive. The back is a sofa. That's a power folding bed. This is a high top van. It's got a lot of storage, and as you can see, I use them for my rod storage. I run the tips in the front section, and the butt of the rods go right into this rear section. So I have 8 rods in my van now. There's 4 on this side. There's 4 on this side. That makes it real convenient for carrying the rods. They're out of the way. I can still stand up in the middle of the van. Not completely straight up, but anyway, I can stand up without hitting my head on my rods, and they're out of the way. They're not going to get broken. And that's that. Of course, the windows all have the privacy shades. And what else? I do have a TV in here. I think it's a 19-inch Vizio, but it's mounted up there. I do not have solar on the van, but I will be working on that hopefully this year. Really want to do the solar thing. I just have everything plugged into a power strip right now, and then I can hook that up to shore power, and everything's protected with the breaker. Oh, here's a tip for you van dwellers. I'm not a van dweller, but this little guy right here that I'm using as a table, it's those racks, those stackable racks that you can purchase from Walmart or Home Depot, and you can stack them like there's 4 or 5 sections, and they just have the little PVC legs, and you can stack more on top of each other. These things are, it's perfect for the van. As you can see, it sits right about the window height, and it's lightweight, and this works out perfect for having a little table in here to cook or eat on or do whatever. And of course, I got a little cooler here with drinks and snacks and dry food there. And this is just a little $10 Walmart heater I purchased just for the cold nights. Couldn't run that off solar. Pulls 1500 watts. That'd be a little much, but for times when we're camping and not completely boondocking at the tournaments, that's going to be a nice addition. What else? For the most part, I think that's about it. Really love my van. Let me give you a look from the door. It's like a little miniature hotel in here. I mean, this is perfect for fishing my tournaments. I always have somewhere to sleep. As you can see, I have the kayak hooked up right here. I got more kayak and stuff, the pedals and clothes and cook stove and all that type stuff. And I just got this lantern hanging here from this giant carabiner that my daughter got me just temporarily. Traveled with it like that, and it doesn't hit anything. Okay, so that's my setup. That's the little tour of the van. There'll be some more videos coming in the future about all the modifications that I'm going to do. Like I said, I want to do the solar and a few other things, but I'm not living in it, but you know, tournament wants to last 3 days or something like that, I'll be prepared. It doesn't get much for style points, but I'll be ready. I'll be ready for the apocalypse with it. Let's take a walk down here, check out the little site. Looks like we got some firewood. Here's a new little hatchet my wife got me for Christmas from Walmart. We'll give it a shot here. Now the plan in the morning, instead of using the boat ramp, is to roll our kayaks down on the cart and just launch right there at the water. That would be perfect. It's going to be interesting for sure. Dennis has never fished this water, and there's alligators out here. There's some big alligators out here, and I haven't told him anything about those gators, but they don't mess with you. They've never messed with me. I don't know. They might like his big green kayak though. You never know. Come on.
So it was right before dark, and I decided to throw a top water, and we had the overcast conditions. The water was like glass, and I already had it tied on one of my rods, so I thought I couldn't go wrong with this bone-colored top water spook.
Let's see what happens.
I made a cast, my very first cast, and made a reel adjustment here, and on the second cast she was waiting on it.
That's not bad for off the bank. All right. Oh. All right, guys, second cast. Caught about a 4.5 pounder. It's about, say, 20-21 inches. All right, let's do that again.
Well, unfortunately, it didn't happen again. So it was getting dark, so I decided to fire up the old lantern. You can see here I'm trying to pressurize the lantern with it sideways because I poured too much fuel in it, but I finally figured out why I couldn't get it to pump originally. I just love this kind of stuff. Makes me happy.
Okay, so I'm in the van cooking for the first time. Dennis has arrived and we hungry. The menu tonight is Campbell's chunky beef with white and wild rice. Couldn't spit that out. Dennis is having that, and I'm gonna have the New England clam chowder. Like I said, first time cooking in the van. Really digging this little table and this little Stanley cook pot set that has bowls and spatula and a spoon and all that good stuff. But first time I've used it, and this was a Christmas gift, so this is awesome. I think we're getting pretty warm. Oh yeah, look at that. Got a little boil going on in there. Probably need to stir it before it burns. Come on.
So I've never been here. Tony's been here a few times and he's caught some fish. In fact, he caught one earlier tonight. And he also informed me that there are alligators in this lake. And so...
and they got a taste for Austin people, so Dennis has got it coming.
So that'll be interesting.
The plan of attack, we're going to be using some Crawfish Creek custom lures, of course. And from my experience on Lake Raven, the fish like to school up early in the morning. And I'm hoping it remains like that throughout the day because of the overcast. It's going to be a cloudy day. I think low winds, maybe a 30 to 40% chance of rain. But with that overcast, I hope they stay deep because they're so fun to catch on crankbaits and swim baits and that type stuff. So, and I want Dennis to get one on a jig. There's a couple of laydowns. It never fails me. And I hope you guys stay tuned for that because we're going to see Dennis pull in a nice one.
Hopefully.
Oh,
that'd be nice.
It's going to happen.
Be pretty sweet.
It's going to happen. Still cooking over here. Chef Boyar Tony is boiling up some water for some good old instant, I don't even know how to say it, Marachon instant lunch. That's going to be my lunch tomorrow on the Yak. But Dennis is across the way here, and this is the inventory he has brought from Crawfish Creek. And I mean, it's just like, it's like Christmas. It's just so many different things to look at. Again, guys, this is stuff you can order from the website, and you can play around and make any colors you want. Play with the flakes, play with the colors, play with the tail colors, play with the eyeballs, get you a jig, change the skirt color, you know, whatever it is, you know, we can make that happen. So it's just awesome seeing this stuff, and we really appreciate you guys taking the time to check out the website and look at all the hard work Dennis is doing to make these baits for you guys. Alright guys, stay tuned. We'll catch you in the AM. Alright guys, good morning. It's 5 o'clock AM and Dennis is making the chow once again. We're going to have bacon and pancakes and eggs.
Yeah.
Breakfast of champions. I can tell you one thing, it's pretty cold out here, y'all.
It's really cold.
Yeah, what do you think the temperature is? Probably about 40?
Maybe in the 30s, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty cold. But we'll get some warm food in us and get ready. So as always, we'll have our little mini tournament between Dennis and myself. And I got to come out of the hole, y'all. I'm 0 for 2 here, so he keeps cheating with the drop shot. We're going to eat some food and then we're going to get on the water, so catch you on the water. Okay, so Dennis and I got on the water and the sun hadn't come up yet, and we did a little fishing. I haven't caught anything, and I don't think Dennis has caught anything yet. Now the wind's already starting to pick up, which is unfortunate because I was hoping it'd be a calm day. Still pretty cold, and the sun's just about to come up, so hopefully it'll warm up just a little bit and we can get out here in this deeper water and maybe find some schooling fish. Alright, well, we'll keep on keeping on. Okay guys, gonna try a little top water action again. I had to get out of that wind in the middle of the lake. It's just too cold. Plus I wasn't catching anything. So let's see what happens.
So I figured since I had luck yesterday on the top water might be the answer. Still had overcast and the water was still like glass. So I made a few casts, but shortly realized that where I was fishing, the top water spook wasn't going to work quite well for me. So I had to change it up.
I think I'm going to change to a frog actually. And the only reason I'm switching to a frog is because we've gotten a lot of rain here lately, and it's brought the water level up on this lake, and you got a lot of submerged grass that wasn't there before, and throwing that top water spook, it's just going to get tangled up. So I'm going to go to a hollow-bodied frog, so we'll be a lot more weedless and we can still fish the same areas. Okay guys, so the frog of choice is a Booyah Pad Crasher in an all white color pattern. And again, since the water level has come up, you got a lot of new areas of fish that's got some submerged grass on it. So change to this so we'll be more weedless and we can still fish top water and fish closer to the bank.
So after changing to the Booyah Pad Crasher, I had more luck not getting tangled, but still no luck with the fish. They just didn't seem to want to bite anything. I threw several times working the bank in several different areas with no results. Time to move on. Sun was starting to come up, which felt great because it was so cold. Dennis and I both were freezing. As you can see, the wind's starting to pick up just a little bit, so I decided to start throwing a crankbait. I'm throwing a Academy brand H2O Express 6 to 8 feet medium diver and a chartreuse blueback, one of my favorites.
Okay guys, normally I would already have caught something out in the main creek channel, and I have not. I've not even gotten a bite. So, with catching the fish off the bank shallow yesterday and the water level high, maybe they're shallow. So I'm going to go along beating the banks. I'm going to be throwing a Crawfish Creek 4-inch blood red Cinco, the 1/4 ounce powder coated blood red bullet weight, and a extra wide gap 2-aught hook. Got the weight pegged. That's my setup right there. So let's go along, beat the bank, and see what happens.
So yeah, the Cinco is one of my go-to baits. When the bite is tough, the Cinco is usually what I can get a fish on always, 99% of the time. So I decided to start flipping the edges of the grass, working my way around, mostly working the outer edges, and taking my time. Water temperature was 58 degrees, so I didn't work the bait extremely slow and I didn't work it extremely fast. Kind of an in-between. I worked the fishing docks, started throwing as close to those docks as I could. Well, even though I'm not a drop shot fisherman, I've seen Dennis have great results on it, so I figured, hey, I got one tied on, why not give it a shot? So I pulled out the drop shot with one of the Crawfish Creek custom lure flukes and gave it a try. Made a couple of casts out into deeper water around 15 to 17 feet around a little stump area. And of course, I don't have as much luck as Dennis, and I ended up getting hung up.
Well, no luck so far. Just broke off my drop shot rig. Going to a Crawfish Creek jig. This is an Arky jig in the PB and J color, so gonna flip it up in the shallows and maybe some laydowns later on, and let's see what happens. But so far it's not looking good. I haven't met up with Dennis. He's probably got a limit already, who knows. I'm sure he's working that drop shot like crazy. What happens when I try to work it? I get hung up and I break off. There you go. Story of my life. Well, let's see what happens. Come on. Okay, so I caught up with Dennis, and he hasn't caught anything either, so we're both striking out here. It's tough fishing today, so...
Time for a beef jerky break.
Yeah, we're having a little break and gonna think about plan B, I guess. I don't even know if we ever had a plan A, to be honest. I don't know. It's pretty strange. I don't know. We'll see. Dennis DeCarlo, the one and only from Crawfish Creek Custom Lures.com. All right, guys, I'm about to drift right into this laydown. Kind of letting the wind take me in there so I can be as stealthy as possible. I don't know if that's going to make a difference though, but we'll see.
I've always been very successful flipping the laydowns out on this lake. There's not much cover for these fish to hide, and it seems if you can fish the laydowns pretty thoroughly, you'll 99% of the time pull the fish out, especially when you're pro casting like that. But again, I worked every part of this laydown, and the results weren't good. I didn't even get a bite.
So the sad part about all this is Dennis took a 3.5-hour trip to come out here to fish, and they're not biting. So it's not a fishing trip, it's a kayaking trip.
Off to the next spot.
Let's go. So, all right, guys, me and Dennis are tethered together, and we're just gonna drift back toward deeper water and try our luck again there. We didn't catch anything back in this little creek. The water level's up, and that's the first time I've ever been able to go back this far into this little creek channel, but it was only about 3.5 feet deep, the deepest part, and Dennis had one fish chasing the spin jig, came all the way up to the surface, and it was a nice fish, but he didn't commit, and that's probably been going on all day, and we just don't know it. But
yeah. Water's real dark.
Yeah.
So we're going to head to deeper water, see what we can do. That one where all the points come together, 3 points come together.
Oh.
Hey.
That's all right.
That one's for all the cuties out there.
We'll hope to get you guys some fish.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Come on. Carp are bad.
I think that's a carp.
Oh
my
man.
God, dude, that would have been hilarious.
So yeah, we were just sailing here with the lid open, and a fish just jumped right beside Dennis's kayak, like almost into the kayak. I think it was a carp though. I think I'll take a carp after today. Dennis said he wanted a pedal kayak. This is what we came up with, so I let him fish. I can pedal for him. It's a hybrid. It's the Pro Cuda.
The Pro Cuda.
Hey, what's up, guys? No Bass Tony here, back at you with a no fishing action. You know, how do you have a fishing show when you don't catch fish? You know what I mean? That don't make sense. It just, I don't expect y'all to subscribe if I'm not catching fish. That'd be kind of dumb, So I just told Dennis we'll go put in an application at Walmart in the sporting goods sections, because maybe I could sell a rod even though I don't know how to use one. So, I mean, I lost the Carolina rig. Dennis just broke off his drop shot rig. I broke off my drop shot rig earlier. It's 12:33. We've been fishing for 6.5 hours, actually 7 hours, and not a bite. I mean, so that's my big announcement. I quit fishing. No more from Big Bass Tony. Well, the 238 update. 0 fish for Tony, 0 fish for Dennis. This is a little pride tournament, and we always say, the winner is the person who gets the most inches. Well, in this one, I think the winner is just the person who catches a fish. fault because you're late.
I told him I won because I caught one yesterday.
Well, there you go, guys. That about wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed all that fishing action. It's just like that some days. Sometimes you can catch them and sometimes you can't. It wasn't because of the lures. I threw Crawfish Creek lures. I threw, as you've seen, the Booyah Pad Crashers and crankbaits and stuff that Crawfish Creek doesn't offer at this time. But we talked to several other kayakers and boaters, and we didn't see not one person catch a fish. So it was just literally shut down and just a tough day of fishing. I've gone trips where I didn't catch a fish, but very seldom have I took a trip where I didn't get a single bite. And as always, we had a blast. It's always fun hanging out with Dennis, and he can be out there if it's freezing just like I can and just love every minute of it, and that's what it's about. So guys, I really appreciate you watching the video, and I hope you took the time to watch it all the way through. It's just two guys having fun, and you know, just sharing the sport of kayaking with you guys is an awesome deal. So make sure to check out Dennis's channel on YouTube, Crawfish Creek Custom Lures, and of course subscribe to my channel if you're new, and if you're not, I'm looking forward to making the next video for you. So you guys stay tuned and have a happy new year. Come on.